What have you been up to for 2 weeks, Captain?
Oh, getting myself acquainted with the new ship.
Nice.
You gonna break this one again? Okay, look, the damage on the last ship wasn't that bad.
Space, the thing we have to cross. These are the voyages of the USS Horizon. Its ongoing mission, to seek out new life, to swear it was on stun the whole time, and to boldly claim we can fix it.
Welcome back to the Terrible Warriors. We're playing through Star Trek Adventures: The Living Campaign. This is our second run at the Living Campaign, technically our third adventure, because the first one I kind of wrote myself. This is what Modiphius calls Convoy SE-119, I think is what was on the cover. I don't know, it's a random collection of numbers. We're not going to call it that. We're going to call it Bloodbath and Beyond, because that makes sense, until we come up with another title for it. I'm running through this game, but I'm not running through it alone. I am joined by our crew of the Horizon, who have found themselves, we'll catch you up on in a dire situation here. Our captain there on the bridge, staring out at all the trouble around him.
I am Conal MacBeth, better known in the nerd community as Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Terrawat, playing Captain Gavin Schofield.
And our first officer getting off the turbo lift going, what the hell's going on?
I'm Joshua Barbeau, an actor who is playing Commander Conal Haddock. That's Conal with a K.
Conal with the Beta Z spelling.
Yes.
Yes.
Betazoid. He's half Betazoid, but it's the only half that
You can
counts.
feel the tension in the room. How's the crew feeling, Commander?
I don't care. It's
Such
how
sadness.
Such sad.
Yeah, let's just say there's someone on the bridge who's feeling a little coffeeed out right now. There's someone else on the bridge who knows he's going to get it for that sudden stop.
Our helmsman.
Ensign Steve Armstrong, played by Brent Morris from the Showhole podcast.
And our science officer joining us on Discord.
Science Officer Arjun here, played by myself, Andy Hughes. Pleasure to be here again.
Hey, so we are, you were sent on a mission with the Klingon bird of prey Mapool, led by Captain Akul, that you had met at the Klingon bar on Narendra Station. You are to escort 10 cargo vessels to an array in the Shackleton Expanse for resupply. 10 vessels. I mean, this is a hell of a resupply.
Yeah.
And so these people are. This is some vital equipment, food, supplies, personnel that are being sent out to this. To this research station on the edges of explored space, and in the middle of 2 weeks en route to your destination, there's an explosion on the Mapool, and then presumably an explosion on the Horizon as you fly in at warp into an electromagnetic storm cloud, and your warp bubble is popped, and you come flying out, and you're now in the middle of a space where no one has been before. Immediately, you have a problem here. The power on the ship is you're losing power. You're just bleeding it out because of the shields have been knocked out. The engines have been knocked out. Power is failing across the ship. Lights are going in and out. ODS conduits are exploding in the hallways. It's just not a good thing. And the ship is going to continue to lose power, which is a stat on your ship, until an officer is able to complete a reason and engineering task to just like put a plug in that dam. You're all up on the bridge. You can do work from the bridge. We have a support character that we've created down in engineering.
Do we have any support characters on the bridge right now?
We can create, but you don't need... The support characters are more created in a scene where you're not present.
Gotcha.
You can use other NPCs in a scene as assist roles. You can bring them in as crew.
Without them being support
and if you need a lot, like if you need to call in NPCs into the scene, like you want to call a security team in, you can spend momentum to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to get momentum, you're kind of running low. You're going to need to start rolling to find out what's going on. You're surrounded by mystery. You've got 10 ships you're looking after. You've got the Mapool that looks like it needs assistance, as
And
well
what
as the
happened to
Horizon
the
that is losing power.
convoys?
You'd have to check it out.
They'd have to check that out. All right, so
You can either spend momentum to ask me questions, or you can roll with ship sensors and communications to reach out and answer those questions, because that is a good question. What has happened to the convoy?
I'm down with spending momentum to find out what happened to the convoy.
Okay, so here's what I'm feeling. Right now, we need to prioritize getting our ship within working function and figuring out what's going on out there.
If need be, I can roll that. I have a grand total, like for science, for reasoning and engineering. I have a grand total of 15 if need be.
Okay, so that's actually very good. I used to be an engineer, so I could go down to the engineering bay if you want to take the bridge, Haddock, and I can assist them in getting at least the power restored and some things back online. And then Haddock, if you want to work with Lieutenant Arjun and Ensign Armstrong in getting information on what's going on out there, and seeing if they require aid from us, if we need to send a team or whatever, I'm going to run down to engineering and help them out, and then I'll be back.
I do have more faith in your engineering skills than our acting chief engineer right now. I'll be honest. He hasn't been doing his job. I am not recommending him for promotion.
And I can actually probably figure out... I can probably figure out what's going on in this area of space anyways. My science is actually pretty darn good.
Okay, so I guess around the table, sort of in order then, what is the tasks everyone wants to look after right now?
I want to go...
I just want to know what scenes we're going into.
I want to go down to engineering to get repairs, but on my way down there, I want you guys to figure out the nature of this storm, like what's happening to us from this ion storm or whatever we've run into, and what they need from us on the other ships to make sure
so let's
that they're
put those
safe.
fancy new sensors to work.
Because, once you get information on the storm, then I can use that in engineering to fix the engines.
Okay, so you're rolling up your sleeves, you're heading down to engineering. Haddock is staying on the bridge to look at the sensors.
I want Lieutenant Arjun to be scanning this storm that stopped us. My intention is to be hailing the convoy to find out what their status is.
So you're heading over to the tactical station then, and sending out hails to. You've got the Mapool and the damaged. Well, the cargo transports. Brent, what is Armstrong doing?
Hyperventilating?
You're hyperventilating, yes. But, I mean, you're also a Starfleet officer. Pull up your bootstraps.
I can see right before fucking Captain Schofield leaves the bridge, he just says, "I'll deal with you later!" Walks through the door.
I mean, I don't have great science or engineering, but I can
No, but you can still use your...
I got team dynamics and...
you can still help with investigating the map, even if you don't have the sex rolls. You can still offer assistance to the other ships.
Yeah, I'm here to help.
You can still work with coordinating damage repairs.
Like we should probably hail... in addition to the convoy, we should probably hail those Klingons and figure out...
One hail at a time here. There's 10 convoy ships that we need.
Not a hail of hails.
That does seem like the quickest thing. While you're on the turbo lift, Schofield, and heading down to engineering, and while Akir is running through the sensor sweep, the most immediate thing is, you hail the Mapool, and...
I'm hailing the convoy ships first.
You're hailing the convoy ships first? So you start getting reports are being sent in from the convoy ships. Minor damage. There's some injuries. Their engines have been knocked out. There's power drains. They all got hit with the same oversaturation of basically being hit by an EMP.
I tell them to stand by and I hail them a fool.
What are you looking for, Brent?
Talent list.
You're looking for a talent list?
I took my talent list, I think, to read about.
Spirit of Discovery. Yes, I did take it.
Thank you. That is all.
I tell them to send us any sensor scans they've taken, and then I hail them a pool.
Oh, okay, well, they're going to start. They're going to start communicating anything. Although, I mean, their sensors are just not that robust.
Basically, anything they get to is probably coming to my terminal at this moment.
Yeah. Okay, we'll resolve that when we check in with Okir.
Get the science off.
And so as you're trying to reach the Mapool and find out what's going on with the Cool, with
of the Mapool, yes.
Yes, Arjun, scanning the electromagnetic. You're looking out, and as you're going through the scans, you're realizing these aren't bands of electromagnetic energy; they're eddies, and they're swirling around like on your map. They look like pinwheels or currents in a stream, and you're in the middle, surrounded by many of these eddies. They're moving like swirling bubbles of electromagnetic clouds all around the ship, and they didn't show up on sensors because they don't. You don't know why they didn't show up on sensors. Actually, you're gonna have to roll to find out. I almost told you too much. So scanning electromagnetic energy is going to be a difficulty 3 task, and
so
it can
3
be
successes.
No, that's that. Oh, if it was a work track. This is yes, 3 successes, but not. You need to get 3 successes on the dice before anything counts as a win. You can attempt that using reason and science, or sciences and engineering. You can assist with the ship's sensors and science, or any other combination that makes sense for what you're trying to do.
I'm thinking science and reasoning.
The
Would electromagnetism give me a little?
You're
another,
also dealing here
dice to
with,
roll with?
you're also dealing with a power drain on the ship that needs to be capped off, which hasn't been dealt with yet. So the ship is losing power. If the ship loses power, you won't be able to do anything with the ship until it's restored. And along the way, also you have this trait in this scene until it's dealt with, a complication. The electromagnetic eddies are creating a detrimental trait of 2 on the Shackleton expanse where we're at. The difficulty is increased by 2, but you have the advantage where it's lowered by 1. So the difficulty of all sensor sweeps dealing with the electromagnetic energy is going to be increased by 1 right now. So when I say that scanning the eddies is a difficulty 3, in addition with the environmental trait, it's actually a 4. And that's taking into account how good your sensors are.
So basically, first we need to do is get the power drain situation worked out first.
Good thing you got the captain heading off to engineering.
Okay.
So you have a difficulty 4 that you can roll for. You have 3 dice from the ship. If you have, you can spend determination points, or you can get another. You don't have momentum, hasn't been generated because no one's rolling for anything, or we can just immediately head to restoring power.
We could try that.
Okay,
yeah,
so
if that works.
Yeah, let's do restoring power before we try that.
Reason and engineering, Captain. When you arrive down at engineering, you've got Chief Cherney is trying to just keep things under containment. Thankfully, nothing's happened to the warp core. Containment is that kind of containment is fine. But the engineering crew, they're doing their jobs. They're working around it and they're figuring things out. But there's just a lot of confusion and electromagnetic interference going on, and of course they're dealing with this power drain. So it's reason plus engineering, difficulty 1.
Difficulty 1. Okay. Actually, I was going to see if I can use like warp core theory or something to give myself a focus on it.
Not really. We're not at warp. We're not using the warp engines.
Right, yeah, we're not using the warp.
If this was back in that controlled drop, that would have been different. But we're sort of outside that wheelhouse right now.
All right. Well, that's 2 successes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Great. So throw in some momentum in there, and power has been. You're not losing power anymore.
Okay. Good.
The ship systems begin to stabilize out. Meanwhile, up on the bridge, Arjun, I'm going to need a roll for you from science.
All right. So I got 3 dice from the ship, my stuff plus the ship.
You have that plus the ship.
Can I use the electromagnetism and get another dice?
You can't use it to get another dice. It increases your success range. You can spend a determination point. Everyone has 1 determination point right now. And if you challenge values, you can gain new determination points in the game.
Right.
You can spend a determination point to immediately get a new dice. And you have momentum here. You can spend 2 of them to buy a second die.
I think I'll go ahead and spin the 2 to get the new die.
Okay, so you get the new dice. You're rolling 4 die. And so go ahead and give that up. What is it? You're using reason and science? Let me see where you have on
that's a total of 16
reason
all
and science
total
is your
check.
best combo.
Range, so I got a good range.
And you can use electromagnetism. You're able to use that focus. So if you roll 1 to 4, that will be an advantage that you've rolled.
All right, here we go. I got a 3 on one of them.
Sweet.
So
that's 1 advantage.
I got advantage and 3 successes besides the advantage.
Great. So I'm going to use that
total.
first advantage. I'll use to lower the difficulty of the eddies. So the difficulty goes back down to 3 because you're able to work through the swirling. And how many other successes did you get?
3 others.
Oh, so you did get 4.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet.
So yeah, I made the check without the lowering difficulty.
So yeah, the proximity of the eddies is having a direct effect on the convoy ships. That's why you've lost power. You're able to figure that out. As you roll, because you did get an advantage, you're able to figure out a way to adjust the shield's modulation, and it's able to insulate the ship now from the worst effects. And that effort, though, now that you have the adjustments made, it's going to go back down to engineering. It's a difficulty 2 from Schofield to apply these shield modulations to insulate the ship
I
from
got
all the
you.
electromagnetism.
I got you shield modulation adjustments you need to make.
And so, Captain, if you want to,
Good.
you're down there. That's reason plus engineering.
Reason plus engineering.
And it's difficulty 2, and you're really hoping not to get any complications.
Oh God.
You can roll the ship.
2 successes.
You got 2 successes. Were any of them low numbers?
No,
No?
I didn't get
Oh,
any.
okay.
I didn't get any advantages, but I did get the successes
I
required.
was really hoping to burn some things out. Okay, that's fine. The ship's shields are back up, and you're starting to the flickering lights. Everything's starting to calm down. But as things are calming down on the ship, you can only imagine what's happening on the cargo vessels nearby.
Yep.
And that brings us back to
I was
Haddock.
hailing the McCool.
And you're hailing the McCool,
Sorry.
and
Is there a
McCool.
fix we can we apply the fix that the captain just made to the power
The
systems?
shield harmonic, the shield
Probably.
modulation, because that's basically what we're going to suggest.
Power
to the
systems
whole
to
fleet.
what?
Like, can we tell the convoy through
The frequency of our shield modulations to help protect them against the ion interference.
Sure.
and their
if-
power loss
Yeah, that's-
issue?
Yeah, if
that's
you
what I
if you
was
can
gonna-
communicate that to them.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what
So-
that's what I was going to. That's what I was suggesting.
Yeah, you're asking me a question. I'm giving you a
So,
question. I don't know.
I'm
can you?
hailing the.
You're the Starfleet officers. Go
I'm
do
hailing
it.
the McCool
So you hail
to
them.
talk
Cool.
to.
Do you want it up
McCool.
on the view screen?
Yes.
Their response. So it turns on and it's all staticky on the screen, and there's a cool, and there's the lights the lower down. He's coughing. He seems to he's got blood on his forehead. It looks like they had a rough landing when they came out of warp, and there's fire on the bridge, and
Captain Akul.
They've taken damage.
Are you in one piece?
He coughs.
I moved down from the tactical station to stand in the center stage of the bridge.
The Mapool has sustained moderate damage, but sensor scans are showing it's more than moderate. They've sustained some pretty significant damage. The ship's been disabled.
Are you in need of assistance, Captain?
Are you in need of assistance? He's saying we've got a handle on this.
I thought you might. We've discussed.
What do you want out of the conversation? We can role play this out till the cows come home, but I want to know you have a disabled Klingon bird of prey. You've got 10 disabled cargo vessels. The horizon is damaged. You've contacted the pool. What are you looking for? How can I, as the game master, help you out here?
I'm looking to.
You can antagonize me forever, but
No.
we're also on the clock. So where are we going with this?
I'm looking to give the captain of the Mapool and the cargo vessels the means to protect themselves from the eddies.
How?
With the shield remodulation tactics that we just discovered.
Their shields are down. Their power is failing. So shield modulations aren't going to help them.
Same for the convoy, or just them?
The convoy is in worse shape than the Mapool because
understand.
they're not military vessels. They need repair crews. They need engineers. They need equipment to get things back online. They don't have the staff on them. They're just transport vessels. They're not Starfleet.
Our resources are such that we probably couldn't fix all 10.
You're a
of
Galaxy
them.
class ship, actually. You have thousands of officers. You have 1,000
might.
officers.
We're like
on
a
board.
space
We might have the
we should have enough
resources.
crew.
You don't have enough
fuel repair
shuttlecrafts to send them out
crews
to
All
every
right, in
single
that
one
case-
of them, but you can definitely start beaming repair crews out to them.
In that case, I want to start beaming repair crews out to the 10 convoy ships.
Ooh, okay. Let's do shuttles, not beaming people through this mess.
Yeah.
We don't have enough shuttles.
Oh, do we not have enough shuttles?
Your shuttles are equal to the support of the ship's crew. So on your ship character sheet, which
is
I
right
handed
here.
out to someone.
It's right here.
So what is the crew support level here? It's the size of the ship, which is crew support is 6.
So we have 6 shuttles,
you have
and there
6
are
shuttles of
11
varying
ships
types.
that need.
You have a bunch of more. You have 20 or 30 shuttlecrafts in your bays, but you've got a support crew of 6. So you can only send out 6 at a time.
We could send 6 out at a time. I would. Okay, so let's calibrate 6 shuttles to withstand being outside in this ion storm. Let's send teams out to the first 6 ships that we can get to. And we'll just, if we need to ensure people don't play favoritism, we'll just go by numerically. We'll start from the back and work our way towards us.
I recommend that one of the ones we send first is the Klingon ship.
Yeah, okay. Let's do
Yeah.
that.
We're gonna need those guns in case someone
One
shows
Klingon
up.
ship and 5 others to the to half the transports.
Okay, good. In the meantime, how are our weapon systems looking right now?
How are our weapon systems
That would
looking right now?
that would be either an obtain information, which you have no momentum here,
All right,
or
well,
you
then
can
what can I roll
or you can
to
roll
learn
computer
that?
and sensors with the ship, and then weapons would be security and control.
Sure. Security and control. I will make that roll.
And then another
do you need
dice.
assist there.
The ship is assisting.
Oh, so I have 3 dice then?
Security and control are both disciplines and departments.
Oh, you're right. Security is a department. No, you're looking. One is on
The player sheet.
Haddock's sheet.
Yeah.
I want him to roll control and security.
Control and
Gotcha.
security.
And I have
On
3
the
dice. Yes?
ship, it would be
okay, it's a dip-
sensors is the system and security is the department.
Okay.
Can
I'm
I
rolling
Or
two.
computers.
can I do the assist
Computers
with the
computers
ship?
is the system?
Because I can re-roll.
Computers is a system.
Yes. Yeah. So you're accessing the ship's computers to find out what's
Can
going
I
on.
do
here.
that roll? Because
go ahead.
I can re-roll it with the technical expertise.
Go nuts.
Boom. I have 2 successes, one of which is an advantage.
I mean, the ship's hasn't taken any serious damage. You've restored power. The
Understood.
Horizon is doing fine.
How's that 16 do?
I mean, the
against
Horizon
our
could
stats?
fly off to warp right now. What you've got is 10 other ships that you'd be
can
leaving
re-roll.
behind, plus the Mapool that needs repairs.
Okay, well, I wanted to make sure that other systems, other than the shields and the engines and everything.
No, you all
are-
succeeded in your
are
roll,
three
so no
successes.
complications have happened. The ship hasn't taken any damage. If you had taken damage, we would have been marking it down on the character sheet as it was going. As it is, the only people who have taken damage are the ones who drank fire wine in the first episode. So we're doing. You keep rolling really well each time. So
I'm
that's
glad.
been working out. Arjun, while you're on this sensor, doing the sensor sweep, I've got some more information here. The electromagnetic eddies are components of a much larger cloud that are spanning out through the sector through this sector of the expanse. Cloud consists of gas, dust, and plasma. But in addition to all of that, your success, because you got this advantage, your analysis of the eddy patterns are showing that some of these eddies aren't random enough to appear to be naturally occurring. There's some kind of pattern here that, at least to your sensors, I mean, when recurring patterns like that happen in nature, they tend to be artificial. It
appears manufactured.
Something here it doesn't appear to be a naturally occurring storm that you are in. And if you want to learn more, it would be a momentum information spend, of which you have no momentum left, but as we have figured out before, you could add threat to the table instead of spending momentum. They live on the same integer line. If you want to learn more, I do have one more thing to show you.
I look at out of game. I look at the rest of the tables. Like, do you want me to put thread on the table?
I'm down with learning what's
down.
causing this.
Yeah, no.
I
Yeah.
also have a plan I want to put into place.
Okay, I'll hear your plan. So
All right.
while you're looking at this, this is Arjun on the sensor screen. For a momentary glimpse, while you're looking at one of these non-natural eddies. Some of them are natural. Some of them appear to be a little different. And you move your sensors into one of those eddies, and you appear to see something like the eddy is opening and closing, emitting what the computer identifies as a transdimensional ionic energy, and then the eddy collapses into a mix of radiation and dust, just like the rest of it. Just for a moment, it almost was like an iris, and then it was back to the same swirling that you were seeing. And
Transdimensionals.
and as you
What
keep
was it
trying,
again?
a transdimensional ionic energy, you get like a quick ionic signature shows up on your sensor sweep, and it appears to
That-
open and close, like the swirl, kind of like an opening appears, and then it swirls back, close, and then it's back to being like the rest of them, and only for that moment. It's not showing up in the other eddies. It's not showing up again, and as you continue to look through, it's a fruitless. It's not happening again, but just for a moment there.
So-
when you added
So
that
basically,
threat.
it's like the moment I see that, I was like, that ain't right.
No, it ain't right.
Transdimensional ionic.
So,
Okay.
Haddock, you have a plan here.
Yes, so we're in the process of prepping 6 shuttles to send to the Klingon ship and 5 of the convoys. I would like to take our ship And
you do have transporters, but that's your
Yes.
call. The captain doesn't seem to trust them.
We're
we're-
using it by shuttle.
We're in the middle of a massive plasma ion thing.
I
if we try
concur
to
with the
transport people, we're
captain's,
going to lose folks in the middle of the God knows what.
Yeah. No, I want to reposition our ship in such a way that we can extend our already modified shields around the 5 remaining ships that have to wait for repair crews.
To extend them across the 5 remaining ships, that'll be an extended work task.
Yes.
That's a large area. That's not something that.
Well, I will also
the shields are designed
communicate
to do.
with them to get a little closer, so it's easier.
Communication is quite hard to do with these ships while power is failing. So
All the
they're
more
able,
reason to
they're able to
protect
send
them now.
reports, but it's kind of it's only come up on the screen in text only. Voice communication with these ships is proving difficult, so it's static. The Mapool is able to work because military grade hardware. Their communication systems haven't been as badly damaged.
The Klingons are, if nothing, robust. Now, that's the thing, though, is that, like, we're a Galaxy-class ship. We're really fucking big compared to these other ships.
Yeah.
Would we have enough space, like, behind the dish in between the engines kind of area
To
there?
fit 5 of these
to
ships.
fit some of those ships?
I mean, extending the shields is not a bad idea. It's a good idea. I like it. It's just not an orthodox idea. The shields aren't really meant to shield more than the
Just
shields are
us.
meant to shield the galaxy. Even though it's a big ship, the shields are meant for the shape of the ship. And there's
These 5 other ships might have to wait quite a while for the repair crews to get to them. So until then, I want to.
Well, you can see through. Some are more off than others. They're working on their own. Some might be able to get back up and running at it. And all 5 shuttles don't have to just go to one ship. You can drop repair crews off one and then go to the other, right? You can set up a little
that
bus.
could work. Actually, I've also got another idea. Just as a quick aside, is the energy that's coming off of these storms and stuff like that, is it directional? Could we use our ship to shield them? Like, to get in the way of the flow of energy to sort of...
Imagine you're in a cloud, you're in a river surrounded by eddies, and you're in a nice calm spot here. You went through them and it knocked out your power, but you're surrounded by
kind of in an eye of the storm.
a cluster of them right here.
Okay.
And so there's dozens of them all in different directions, and they show up on scans, but not all of them are even on the visible spectrum. So this is like it was a bit of like a I don't want to say briar patch because that was already used in Star Trek somewhere else, but you've fallen into this nest.
Okay, so we are
of
kind
eddies.
of eye of the storm in this situation here.
It sucks.
Okay, no, that's fine, because I was like, if there was a flow, then maybe we could, like, use our ship to create, like, a shadow of this
Where
energy.
does everyone want to be during this like repair task? Because we've got 4 characters here that can all be of an assistance somewhere else. And I have some suggestions here for the different roles on the ships.
Well, I'm done with engineering, because I imagine that calibrating our systems, this is as calibrated as they're going to get in this mess.
Captain can be assisting from the bridge. You can roll
I
assist
was gonna
rolls
say,
for almost anything from the bridge.
I'm going to probably head up to the bridge and assist in command capacity.
I'm not a great engineer, but I got starship design and team dynamics. I could help fix the convoy
You
ships.
should probably be piloting one of the shuttles.
Or that. Hey, right, I'm a pilot.
We're taking repair crews. So we can take.
And the XO, you're coordinating the repair crews. So
Yes.
you're taking this on. You can be rolling assist with giving them orders, or you can even be leading the away team.
I'll be happy to lead you, but I'll defer to what my captain wants
Also,
to do.
quick note as I get back up to the bridge, fucking stellar job, everybody, for doing work while I've been down in engineering. You guys have been doing great.
Oh well.
Good job. Also, good job to you over in the science.
Thank you, Captain.
And Arjun,
Captain.
there's a good chance you'll be able to learn more about the electromagnetic eddies if you're able to see what its effects have been on the other ships. Bring a tricorder.
So yeah,
You've learned all you
I'll
can
be on
from the ship's sensors, but seeing how it's affecting other ships and their systems and what's happened on the Klingon ship might all come to your, might all be good for you.
Yeah, I
So
need more information.
here's a
That's
question.
Good. That's good.
Here's a question. The issue was that we only had so many repair crews, right? We weren't limited in the number of shuttles we had, correct?
I think it was the other way
You're-
around.
Or was it the
Yeah,
other
I
way
mean,
around?
we have like
Sorting
10
out.
Type 2 shuttles, 10 Type whatever the next one up shuttles. You've got, you didn't take advanced shuttle base, so you don't have any runabouts, but you've got like those like little round ones, the big square ones.
I understand.
We just don't have enough crews to immediately deploy to every shuttle, because
What
we
I-
only had 6. We only had 6 immediate support staff that we could send out.
I'm not going to slow this game down on a thing. Like, if you want to be sending out the repair crews, like the NPC repair crews that we can be rolling assist rolls, you'll be able to use 5 shuttlecrafts to distribute them among the 5 convoy ships. Relatively simple. You send one or in teams of 2. You can send a pair of repair engineers to take these cargo vessels because they can help coordinate. They can bring the tools. They can teach everyone what they need to do. They can get their hands dirty. They can get those ships going. Bounce, bounce, bounce. 2 shuttles for each ship gets that job done, and then the 6th one is your Klingon ship.
So what I'm wondering is if we have shuttles to spare. Can we take? Should we take one with a science team closer to one of those eddies to examine it? Perhaps.
Probably not.
Or should we use the ship for that? The ship is better equipped. Perhaps.
I mean, that's up to you, Captain. You've got a couple of directives. One of them is protecting this convoy and getting it safely to the array. The other is with the aiding assistance to the Klingons and allies in need.
Even with the advanced systems that we have, we've only managed to get so much information from them, and I want to make sure that these people are safe and alive first.
I understand and agree.
You can always come back and do a proper survey when people are out of harm's way.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that even if these eddies, these energy storm things are manufactured, if they're intentional, we could be at a very serious danger being here. But the first thing I want to do is ensure that everyone is repaired and not in immediate danger of their ships imploding, and then we can try to gather more information on our immediate situation before moving forward. So that's like our list of priorities right now is make sure everybody's repaired and okay, then investigate the situation further, then leave.
Gotcha.
Continue on our mission, because I don't want us to continue without knowing what this crap is first, because we could be walking through more artificially created death storms that could just annihilate us.
I mean, Arjun does have an interesting point, though. If you're able to get out and at least maybe map a route through, find a safe passage, they're swirling. Some appear, if they're natural, are random in their movements. So once you've got the ships up and running, I mean, how are you getting out of here? So you can then safely return to warp.
Exactly.
Because we already know that these things don't like warp bubbles. So if you can't sustain warp, you're going to be moving at sublight for a while.
Yep.
That's not going to help. So you need to get out of this region once the ships are repaired. Like I said, you've learned everything you can learn. I mean, if the science officer can learn stuff on the shuttle, either en route to a ship or take one after it's dropped off repair crews.
The damage from the ship. Yeah.
Like, you can take 4 engineering crew members, drop them off, and then fly off and go stargazing.
Do some investigation.
What do you want to do, Captain?
Let's get the repair crews out there, and if we have the staff left over, then we can do some investigation. But the priority is making sure everyone is safe and alive.
Do you want me to fly those repair crews then?
Yeah, do that.
Transporter chief is saying they're able to get a lock on the Klingon ship. I mean, they understand your reservations, sir, because of the electrical magnetic interference. But I mean, with
do they have a clean lock?
It's not clean, but it'll be. They don't see it as being any more risky than sending shuttles out.
They're confident they can get us over?
The chief, the transporter chief there, I mean, if someone was going to roll for that transport, but they're looking at it like they've got a lock. They've got a transporter set they can send to.
If they think it's no more or less dangerous than sending shuttles, then do it.
I mean, the shuttles aren't going to be without risk to head out beyond the ship's
It's either
seals.
someone's making a piloting check or a transport operation
with me rolling.
check.
Additionally, I was going to
It's
say,
a matter of just
maybe don't have you
risk and
piloting
reward. Who do you want? Who do you
as-
want piloting versus do you want to use
use the
transporters?
transporters.
Because
Well-
power has been restored to the ship. The ship hasn't taken any.
Transporters are also going to be
damage.
faster. In addition to that, we can calibrate the transporters to work around the interference the same way the shields have been calibrated. Would that assist at all?
Yeah, I mean, if you still want to go with the extending of the shields
And
to
that's-
insulate against the effects
That's really
of
his call, but I
electromagnetic
think that's the best idea.
Yeah, let's
while
do
they're
that.
repairing the little ships.
While the repairs are being
So
done.
that's going to be, we've done this in the last one, it's that work track that you have to work for. Let's say extending the shields to cover half the convoy.
while the other half is being repaired.
Magnitude 2. So you're going to need to fill up 2 tracks. Let's say it's the work track is 10. So that's 10 successes. It's going to take some time or some really good breakthroughs, which I'm saying you've been rolling nothing more, so I don't have any problem with that. With a difficulty of 3, because shields aren't meant to do this. And on top of the difficulty, which you've negated because of the insulation, would normally be at a 4, but we've already gotten rid of that. So difficulty 3, work track 10, magnitude of 2. And we can work through that. It might take some time. Your repair crews will be already en route, but you can get your engineering team on that.
Excellent.
And that'll kind of take up all of your attention on the ship, Schofield. Looking at this, then, what's the team destinations here for Haddock, Armstrong, and O'Keefe? Where are the 3 of you? Like, I mean, Haddock's in charge, but I mean, I also want to know the input from these other players.
Well, I mean, O'Keefe, I'm going to be driving from one ship to the next, dropping off repair crews. He should probably come with me.
Do you want to bring him along as your co-pilot to take scans?
Yeah.
Okay, so the 2 of you will be in the shuttlecraft dropping off repair crews. Haddock, are you joining the shuttlecraft, or are you taking a separate transport or beaming over to the Klingon ship? Do you want to go to the Klingon ship?
Here's the thing.
You really want to have another dust up with a cool. I know.
I do, but here's the thing.
I assume command.
If we are sending any repair crews to the Klingon ship, which was the plan,
Yep.
I should accompany them for their safekeeping.
Do you want to bring Cherney along? Chief Engineer Cherney?
Yes, I do want to bring Cherney along to the Klingon ship. And
It just
maybe
gives you a
not
support
bring him
character
back.
someone else wants to play in the scene with you. So
Yes.
Good. All right, let's do that.
Cherney and I will go to the Klingon ship, and we're going to fix
All right, now,
their shields
the
because
next
they can't.
big question for you, Haddock. Are you taking a shuttle or are you transporting?
It'd be faster if you just took a transporter, and they say it's just as safe.
Transporter it is.
All right.
We're going to have Haddock Cherney merge into one person.
Oh no!
So
No. One at a time.
I'm just breaking up.
One at a time, right? One at a time.
One at a time.
Through the
3,
transporter,
4,
one at a time.
5,
But I was looking
6,
forward to chatting.
7, 8, 9, 10. I'm just making my 2 work tracks here for you, Schofield. And what we say it was difficulty 3. Cool. So you can get rolling on that and just tell me what your successes are. And if you ever roll under your engineering stat with your focus, you'll be able to get a it's called a breakthrough. And every time you get just 10 successes, you get a breakthrough. So every time someone else is doing something, meanwhile, we'll have you just kind of working on the shields. So we'll start with that. Let's get the first roll going on this.
Nice.
2 successes, 1 advantage.
So you get well in this case because it's a breakthrough is the
Okay.
advantage. So you get like you're on this. Oh, I know how this works.
That's not 2 advantages?
What was that second number?
Oh, because my
they're both
engineering
below your
is
engineering.
also 4.
2
so that's
advantages.
2
So you're like, this is gonna take forever, and it was difficulty 3 though. So we got to
Evan
roll
hates
in the
this.
ship. You're working the ship's
Let's roll the
shields.
ship as well, and that is computers and security.
If that is a success, then those will all count as breakthroughs. If that's a failure, then you didn't get enough successes to count.
I just have to get under a 12. And I rolled a 5.
Another advantage. No, sorry.
it's a 5.
No, in this
It's a 5.
case.
Sorry.
Okay, so before you even get the shuttles out of the bay, you see the bubble of the ship kind of out, and you now have 5 of the nearest cargo vessels now within
Covered.
shield. Well, I mean, the shields being spread out mean that they're not as effective if. I don't know if the Klingons decide to open fire on you. They're not at they're butter spread out of too much toast now. So, but you have extended the shields.
They're all Bilbo Baggins in this area.
And so the shuttles are heading out and sending their crews. I mean, Commander, before you even said it, you can give an assist roll to help them out on that. You give me command. You're giving them their orders, so command and presence.
Cool. 2 successes and 2 advantages.
Okay, so what advantages would you like to create for your repair crews as they're heading out?
As I'm sending them out, the advantages I would like to create is I want them to get those shuttles not only repaired, but get them out of this area.
Oh, so you're getting their difficulty. The crews are going to be able to look after themselves now. They're like, yeah, nice little pep speech from the commander as you send out your orders, and with
do a good job.
That's lowering their difficulty in the scene, and they're able to with the also the success of the shield. They're like, wow, we're going to be just fine. This is going along swimmingly. So
you got those fancy shields.
The shuttles depart from the bay.
You remember that story where I killed that 20-foot cat? I want you to do as well as I did.
Yeah. Don't be the cat.
Don't be the cat.
Don't fuck
be
it
the
up.
haddock.
Be the haddock.
Don't Armstrong this up.
Don't
Armstrong this up.
Oh boy. So I'm gonna have to be the one that actually props up the poor ensign.
Yeah, Arjun, you're sitting in the co-pilot seat with Armstrong in the 6th shuttlecraft as you're heading out to scan the eddies.
So
You sure you're gonna be okay, Armstrong?
I think I'll be fine as long as I can just drive this here shuttle. I can focus on this task.
Yeah, so you're trying to navigate a path through and
okay,
scan
so
this
that's
area.
control and con.
Yeah, give me control and con, and
daring and
Arjun,
con?
give me a science and either reason or also control.
Can I use daring instead of control?
I'll use
Why
reason
is
to
what
do
you're
this.
doing is reckless?
Oh, it's because it's reckless. I
Yeah,
thought it was
like,
just daring. 'cause
We're
it was
just doing our
dangerous.
jobs right
All right,
now.
all right.
I mean, how are you recklessly going about your orders?
I'm not. I just wanted one more point.
All right.
Daring is really helpful when it's like
Rolling
in the
my
moment impulsive
reason
things.
and science.
I'm gonna roll some daring before this
One
day's
advantage
Okay.
and one other success, so 2 successes.
Oh, sweet.
So the advantage, is that based on the discipline or the...
Based off of your discipline that you're rolling against,
Okay,
and
so
only
yeah.
if you have a focus that adds it. Other than that, it's just a 1.
Oh, okay. Well, I got 2 successes.
Okay, sweet. So, I mean, no complications, bunch of successes. Another advantage, like there's no difficulty in this game. You guys are swimming along. You get out, and sure enough, you will be able
Have you
to.
seen this crew?
When the ships are repaired, you have a route. You found a passage through.
Okay.
So the shuttlecraft is now out. It's mapping this route to help navigate the horizon and the fleet out of this nest. And Haddock now beams over to the Klingon vessel. And this is going to be Haddock. You're beaming over, so Schofield's on the bridge. I'll let you, Schofield, roll sensors and engineering, which is the transporter itself.
There we go, and that's...
There'll be 2
so
dice.
sensors and engineering, and it is 2 dice for the ship?
Well, it's for you, and then also roll another die is going to be 4 and control is 14. So one of the die you're rolling for the ship, and the other is for the transporter chief, and that's a 14. So
Okay, so let's...
they're 2 separate target numbers.
Under 13. Got a 12, that was
Got a
close.
12.
No, okay, so I haven't wanted to say this at...
We've already started.
Yeah. No, we just got under the so it was a 13 for the ship I had to get under, and I rolled a 12, so it is okay. I haven't wanted to say anything because I don't want to jinx it, but my dice roll super fucking low, and I hate them.
Yeah.
Except in this particular
this game,
situation,
it works out real well.
It works out perfectly. We've rolled like 7 ones
Yeah,
since we've sat down.
roll
today.
another one. Come on,
so,
complication.
Fucking, actually, we got only 1 success. There's a 12 and a 16.
Okay, so
2 successes though, in total.
you got 2 successes in total, and you got 1 that was off.
Yeah, there was 1 that was over.
As the transporter chief, Haddock is going to be fine, but they're losing Cherney's signal as they're going through. I rolled an effect.
Oh fuck!
As you're going through, and
Save him.
and
I want to berate
You've
him
got
later.
a chance here. You got another chance. You can either you got a choice here. You can try and bring him back, or you can get the lock and send him to the Klingon vessel. And I'm going to write down which one is the right call.
Oh, it's you have to make a choice, and one of those 2 choices he lives, and the other one he dies.
And well, the other one is it'll go back down to a dice roll if he makes the wrong choice.
And I'm making this choice as the transporter man.
Yeah. As Schofield on the bridge, transporter chief's going. I'm losing one of their signals.
Fuck. Pull him back.
You want to pull him back? You're pulling Cherney back?
Yes, pull Cherney back, because if you're losing a signal, pull him back here where our systems work.
That's what I wrote down.
Oh fuck.
So I would have let Cherney still go there. I wouldn't have sent you there completely alone, Josh. If he had chosen to send him forward, it would have been another roll. To try it again, and another complication I would have rolled. If I got another 6, then we just lost his signal.
Yeah, we just lose him out there.
He just lost.
He appears
into
on
the
one
eddies.
of the wrong on one of the other ships instead.
He's in the hull, like a masthead. So
We almost had our yellow shirt for the episode.
almost. So Cherney comes back and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" He's like, "We almost lost you." He's like, "What?" Touching, counting all his fingers. I'm going back to engineering. So
I think it'd be funny if it was just like, yeah, we almost lost you out there. Oh my god, okay, and we're sending you back out. Wait! Zip, and he's gone.
Haddock, you beam on board the Klingon vessel, and a cool sees you, right? Because of course, he's in the room, and he's like, "I see Schofield has sent his dog," and but
it's a big dog.
he wants to just, get to work, get the ship moving, let's get back on our mission. Making it all like this is your fault. And we're at the end of episode 2 here. And so with the pilot and Akir, or Arjun Okir, you're and Armstrong, you're out mapping the eddies, and the repair crews are delivering the crews, and they've successfully delivered the repair crews to the cargo vessels, and they're getting to work on getting those engines back up and running. And Schofield is overseeing the mission from the bridge, and Cherney is counting his blessings. And
fingers.
And then while you're on the Klingon vessel, getting ship engines back up, you're able to repair their sensors. And the sensors turn on just in time for them to blat out a warning as proximity detectors go off, and pair of heavily armored freighters emerge from behind the swirls of one of the electromagnetic energy pools.
Oh, is it pirates? Is it Orion?
Space pirates?
Heavily armored freighters are accompanied by a dozen small 2-seat fighters. The ships carry no distinctive markings and are standard models of starships common among independent merchants and mercenary guilds. One of the freighters moves towards the Mapool, while the others turn towards the horizon. The fighters begin to dart around the swirls of energy and engage the hapless cargo transports as bright streaks of yellow and orange phaser fire begin to light up the nest.
Oh, it is them.
We're gonna have a dogfight.
It's gonna be another bloodbath.
And you get
today.
to see everything, Armstrong, from your front row peanut balcony seat, right in the middle of these two ships. So you've got up on the left, you've got the Mapool, and it's got a freighter coming in towards that, and up on the right, you got the Horizon with another freighter moving towards them, and down in the middle, you've got the dozen or so fighters moving into the 10 cargo vessels. They just begin to just lay out fireworks.
This feels like Battlestar Galactica.
I'm gonna save the day.
That's what I said. As I said, Battlestar Galactica when we got started. I was like, this is motherfucking BSG, some shit up in here.
Actually, though, and that's where episode 3 is going to be, is Bloodbath and Beyond. Here on the Terrible Warriors, I have been your hapless game master trying to hold it all together and not give away too much too soon. Here with my crew of the Horizon, their fearless captain.
Conal MacBeth, better known in the nerd community as Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Terrawad, playing Captain Gavin Schofield.
The commander that is all of a sudden about to assume control of the Klingon vessel, right?
Out of work actor Joshua
history
Barbeau
repeats itself.
is playing the very overworked commander, Conal Haddock.
Do I have to do everything
Do I have to
myself?
do everything myself? I'm gonna beat up those pirates and make this Klingon ship work better than before.
Far away from all the action so you can't screw up anything we have.
Brent Morris from the Show Hole podcast. I'm starting to do things right as the helmsman ensign Steve Armstrong.
Yeah, you're actually, both of you are in a really interesting place. Isn't that right, science officer?
Andy Hughes playing Ajin Arkir.
And what will happen with the convoy? Will the Horizon make through this? And is Haddock up for a promotion? Tune in next time on the Adventures of the Terrible Warriors as we play through the Living Campaign. Of course, the Living Campaign you can find by signing up on the mailing list at Modiphius' website. This game is the game that you can get. It's offered for free to anyone playing along with Star Trek Adventures, and we're playing along too. This is our weird take on it. Yours could be completely different. Different ship, different crew, different turn of events, but it would be really interesting to hear how you played through it differently. You can let us know, but you should also let Modiphius know and send them your logs, and then we'll hear about it from them. And until next time, hey, thanks for listening, thanks for supporting us, and episode 3 on the other side, dogfights, finally, space combat. Yes. Pew pew, pew 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 pew.
The Terrible Warriors continues to play Star Trek Adventures every Tuesday through the month of January. For a complete listing of our upcoming schedule, visit terriblewarriors.com. For more information on Star Trek Adventures and the Living Campaign, visit modiphius.com. If you like what you're hearing and you want to hear more, consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/terriblewarriors. Not only will you get access to exclusive debrief episodes that only Patreon supporters get to hear, but you may also be mentioned in a game as our NPCs, locations we've gone to, name of the ships we blow up, and of course, you could join us right here at the table as our special guest. Today's Terrible Warriors and your crew of the Horizon: Conal MacBeth, Joshua Barbeau, Brent Morris, Justin Ecock, and Patreon supporter Andy Hughes. The Star Trek Adventures Living Campaign will continue next week, right here on the Terrible Warriors.